Hello everyone, I am Crawlers and this is my Wins of Hallows video for Battlefield 4. Now, unfortunately I completely missed Halloween with it and uploaded a couple of days later, as you can see, because I didn't record the commentary in time, but also because the Easter eggs that DICE implemented worked on the very day that we're talking about on Halloween, so I didn't really have time to do it in one day. And on Sunday I had my loadout episode, so I didn't want to move that, and so we're getting this video early in the week, which I'm sure will mean less views, but let's face it, that's not what we're here for. Speaking of Easter eggs, these Easter eggs that DICE implemented, or indeed Winds of Hallows as they call them, as you can see, are some temporary changes to CTE that are quite cool actually, and bring a lot of fun to it. There were glowing pumpkins that exploded into fiery ribbons when you shot them. The map Pro Market was remade at night. There was a small UFO. There were ghosts of warriors past and loud moans and groans and that generated randomly, all sorts of lighting effects and fires, and also this hilarious addition which basically made you into a superhuman monster when you picked up the flag or entered a bomber on China Rising maps. You became this this character with burning eyes, a hockey mask, a thousand health points, and you were also streaking fire, and you could jump to superhuman heights. And to balance this out, they were only given a knife at the time to kill with, and when you did it, when you killed someone with a knife, you let out this awesome groan and moan kind of. I actually commented on a DICE guy's comment and said that they should have made the headless player in Battlefield 4 for Halloween. Not only would that have been scary and stuff, I think, but it would also, as a side effect, would have solved the head glitching problem. So, it killed two birds with one stone. And on that note, here's some more changes to talk about with the CTE patch happening as the final stand beta ends and normal play resumes on CTE. We have a couple of changes coming up and being worked on by DICE. First of all, the Xbox and PlayStation users are now able to sign up for but not download it on consoles. The CTE, that is. They can still download it to their PC, as I understand it, though. The reason is that, although I'm sure DICE wants the console players to participate, it isn't actually up to them, nor is it up to EA, most likely. It's likely a Microsoft and Sony problem where, DICE would have to go through certification for self-publishing on their consoles. And by then, Battlefield 6 might be out already, so DICE isn't really to blame here. They aren't the boogeyman, as it were, on Halloween. Maybe they are, I don't know. And in fact, kudos to them, I think, for creating CTE, even though it's so late in the Battlefield 4 life cycle. But look, you have to keep in mind that any changes and testing done in the CTE actually reflects not only on Battlefield 4 in its current state, but also on future games and franchises, FPS games, and even the Frostbite engine itself, like game mechanics, for example, HUD tweaks, team play, vehicle balancing, and so on and so forth, and all going to be just as important in the days when, Hardline comes out, and when Battlefield 5 comes out, and Battlefront and Mirror's Edge 2, and so on and so forth. So it's very important that we do this and, leave feedback on the forums. Don't just stop playing CTE now that Final Stand beta is over and you don't have access to new maps. Alright, now back to the actual patch. There have been a number of map fixes done, like a truckload of collision models changed and such, and squad spawn limits added to different maps on spawn, which are, too many to list, but there have also been two important changes added, which I will go through right now. The helicopter got a prototype new flight model that's somewhat closer to Battlefield 2 flight model. So far, only the Chinese attack helicopter got the overhaul for the purposes of testing, and all American helicopters have been replaced by the Chinese ones on maps now, so they won't be at a disadvantage when playing. Now, the most important change to the new flight model is the ability to flip and roll the helicopter. It's a lot more responsive now, it's quicker, and I think, let's face it, you can do a barrel roll now. Who cares about anything else? So, helicopters should be a lot more fun now. Obviously, this being CTE, things can still happen, like the changes getting changed or scrapped even and never releasing, but honestly I think the new helicopter flight model will be released soon. They are also testing a solution for the phenomenon known as head glitching, and we're all familiar with it by now. It's a problem that's been pretty goddamn intrusive all throughout Battlefield 4's life, and frankly some other games too, because, this mechanic exists in in some FPS games. Now, if you still don't know what head glitching is, it's a problem of bullet flight path model in the actual game. Not the animation, mind you. Those are completely different things. While the animation shows your bullets coming out of the gun, your actual bullets in the game are flying out of your face. So, basically, wherever your eyes are pointing it at the time. So this assumes correct aiming because your eyes are pointing to that which will get hit in the game. But it also presents a problem. If, say, in the game mode your character is hiding behind a box and so is his gun, you can still hit enemies while shooting at them because your eyes are above the box, and bullets which in theory should be hitting the box and are actually going over it and missing it completely and hitting the enemy. Also, this is bad for the enemy because he really can't hit you with anything with only the top of your head showing over the box. So, while you can go to town on them all day long, they can't really do anything about it. And, thus head glitching becomes an issue. So, what DICE is proposing is lowering the point of generating your in-game bullet about 6 inches lower below your eyes, so that right now they are testing it with a few chosen weapons, so it's not an across-the-board fix, but it already looks promising. It's not a perfect fix, mind you, and I'll explain in a second, but it's a step in the right direction. Basically, what's happening right now for weapons like the Deagle and the Scar H is the bullet comes out of about your chest area when firing, so when hiding behind something, you shouldn't really be able to hit an enemy if just your head is peeking out. But because bullet still has to go where you're aiming and still has bullet drop, it comes out to that at a certain distance, head glitching still happens, even though your gun would be below the level where the bullet should be able to fly directly to the bad guy. You see, The bullet used to fly out of your head and start dropping over distance almost immediately. It never went higher than the point at which it was fired, assuming the level shot. Now, what's happening is, after the fix, the bullet starts its flight path at your chest area and goes up for a little while, then reaches its vertex and starts dropping over distance as usual. So, what you can see is that this fix will only work if you are standing right next to a box. Then head glitching won't happen. Your bullet will hit the box. But as I'm demonstrating with this experiment in the metro, maybe not the best place for it, but when you're standing at a certain distance away from the box, you can shoot seemingly through the box. Your bullet will actually go over it and hit the enemy. So right now they're testing it with a few chosen weapons, as I've said. You know, it's a good fix and a good step in the right direction. They're also testing some other things like cool vehicle stats icons that show you the health and occupancy of vehicles before you spawn into it, and also when spawning on squad mates that are suppressed, the window will go red and will say in big red letters "in combat" and will not let you spawn in on them. Oh, and I also forgot a bit of interesting, if true, news. David Sirland, aka Tigger of DICE, tweeted that, well, after an overwhelming outcry of love for the pro market map being turned to night for the purposes of Halloween scare, he noted that it may eventually happen as an addition. Not that this might affect Battlefield 4 in my opinion, but maybe later games like Hardline and such. But honestly, playing in Total Darkness, you know, on Pro Market was really awesome. I brought a tac light and had oodles of fun. If you had a FLIR scope and a silencer, I bet you could really do a lot of damage to the other team. Oh, and we finally got a release date for Battlefield Hardline, and that is Tuesday, March the 17th, 2015, St. Patrick's Day. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Please rate and share this video as it helps my channel grow. Check out my other videos at the end of this one, and remember, in Soviet Russia, YouTube subscribes you.